Hi, this is Michael Hutchinson with Direct and Design. Today I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop to create YouTube channel art. So here you can see I just used one of the generic pictures that comes in the gallery provided by YouTube. If you're logged into your account, click on the edit button for your channel art. And let me just show you this under gallery. So if I go to gallery and I choose one of these, it kind of gives me an example of what the image is going to look like on all devices. Now this is the tricky part when creating your channel art. It has to work on all devices. So you've got your desktop, TV and mobile. I would suggest to pick a nice photograph, try not to use too much text, maybe try not to use people's faces unless they're all right in the center of the image, which will be shown in the templates that we're about to download. So the first thing to do is download the template provided, click on the Upload Photos button and how to create channel art. This is a pretty good guide. You can view it, it'll give you some tips, but the other thing that's more important here is the templates. So download the templates. You're going to get two templates, one for fireworks, one for Photoshop. In this instance I'm going to use the one Photoshop. So once it's downloaded, find your template, open it in Photoshop. Immediately you can see it gives you parameters for all of the views for different devices. The one thing it doesn't show that I noticed is where your profile picture falls. So on desktop your profile picture falls approximately here, and on mobile your profile picture falls approximately here-ish. So even though it says text and logo safe area, be aware that there is going to be anything that falls in these two places approximately is going to be hidden by the profile picture on mobile or desktop view. Anyway, so I'm going to download some stock photography from a resource that I use. If you have a nice picture on your desktop or your laptop, you could just use that. So I use a site called dollarphotoclub.com, and it's simply that the photos are $1 a piece, which is a lot cheaper than some resources I've used in the past. Okay, so I'm going to kind of make a joke about how sometimes traffic is good, meaning basically, you know, like we're an online marketing company and we generate leads and online traffic to people's websites, and in that case, traffic is good. We want traffic, but and obviously when you're stuck in traffic, it's not good. So I'm going to try this image. It may or may not crop pretty well, but we shall see. So when I download this image, it will open it in Photoshop for me. And there we have it. So switching back to my channel art, you can see that the maximum size is 2560 by 1440. So making a mental note of that, I'm going to crop my photograph that I just downloaded to that size so it will fit this exactly. So 2560 by 1440. So you can either hit C on the keyboard for crop, or you can click the crop tool, and it was 2560 by 1440 and 96 for the resolution, and that looks good. Okay, at this point I'm going to copy this and paste it into the channel art guide file. So you can do that by doing Command A if you're on a Mac, so select all, which is also under select all, and then Command C, which is edit, copy, and switch to the channel art guide and do Command V. It's going to just give you, it may give you a pop-up to check that the color profiles, you're okay with them not matching, and that's fine. And you can see immediately I now have a layer that has my artwork in it. And I think actually it's going to work quite nicely. You're still going to see, even on this small crop, that it is obviously traffic. You know, if I toggle this, these layers back on, my traffic layer, my image needs to be below them. That's where my profile images might fall. But I actually want to add some text to this. So I'm going to select the text tool or hit T on the keyboard. draw my area where my text is going to go. Okay, so I'm just going to edit this. Italic. All right. Okay. So at this point it's kind of messy because I've got my guides still turned on, the guide template that we originally opened that shows you, how your artwork should be set up. So I'm just going to toggle that off, toggle it back on. I'm going to move my text down a little bit and to the right maybe a little bit. And let's see how that looks. So the traffic is good. Okay, now I'm going to try, you can just play around with this, maybe the text would show up better in a different color, so I'm going to try white. It's a little harder to read, but I think a drop shadow would fix that. So if I double click, I've got my text layer right here, if I double click on my text layer and then a drop shadow, I'm going to have to make it bigger. It's not very big. And well, maybe that helps fix the problem. Let's have a look. It's still a little tricky to read. Anyway, but you can play around with that. Let's have a look. I'll move it a little bit. Maybe change the direction of the drop shadow. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so that's pretty easy to read. Sometimes traffic is good. At this point, we're going to save it for web. So there's some parameters on the file size that they allow you to upload, and 2 megs is the maximum. So we're going to save for web, and this is going to be under 2 megs, so we'll be within the parameters. So if you go to File and Save for Web, or if you know the shortcut, it's Command Option Shift S. And when this new window opens, it's really zoomed in, but that's not really what's important to me. Right? What's important is down here how big the file size is. So we're well within the parameters. 2 meg is 2000K. This is 688K, so we're well under. I've got my quality set to 75, which I've always found is more than adequate for web. I've also got optimized checked. Go ahead and say save. I made one earlier and I called it DD-YouTube background or BG. I'm just going to copy over that one. You've got to test these things out, right, before you record them. So I did a couple and made some errors, and my dogs came upstairs and interrupted me, and I swore at them loudly and told them to go back downstairs. So now they've gone downstairs, I can continue to create this tutorial. All right, so I'm going to replace that. All right, so switching back to YouTube, I've still got this window open, and I can select a photograph from my computer, which I just created. Select it, say upload. After it uploads, it's going to give you a quick preview of what it's going to look like on all devices. Obviously, it's way zoomed out, but you can kind of vaguely see here that the text does show on mobile, the text does show on TV, and the text does show on desktop. If I hit select, all right, I'm actually quite pleased with that. Sometimes traffic is good. Hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or requests, please email me, info@directingdesign.com. If you have specific art that you want to create, or if you're struggling with something with your art, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll do my best to help you. Thank you very much, and please share this with anyone you think might find it useful.